Watch till the end to see how I make this beautiful drop donut. Alright. So as you can see, my butter has dissolved with the sugar together. So the next thing will be my eggs, okay? You can do as many eggs as you want, but altogether I did 3 eggs. Okay. You can do 1 egg, you can do without egg also. I can share with I will share another recipe where I didn't add eggs at all. So I'm going to mix it in, make sure everything is well combined, and then I'm going in with my evaporated milk. I'm going to do 6 spoons. 6 tablespoons of evaporated milk, and I'm going to mix that in also. And then I'm going to put in some vanilla extract for the flavor. Okay, so I just did like 1 tablespoon of that. You can do less or more if you want. So I'm going to make sure I mix everything in pretty good. And I'm going to put in a half cup of water into the mixture. So I'm going to stir everything in, just as you've seen in the video. After mixing everything in, I will go in with my flour. So you can see I have 4.5 cup of flour. I'm just going to do it half and half. I'm going to mix it in, and then I'll add the other half. So it's mixed in. I'm going to add in the other half of the flour. And then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And I'm going to mix everything in just as you're seeing in the video. So after mixing everything in, if I need more water or more liquid, I'll add more liquid. But right now, I'm still mixing, okay? So I have everything mixed in beautifully. Don't over mix, okay? So the last thing that will go in is a pinch of salt. And I'm going to stir it in. Make sure it's well combined, okay? Just like that. So it is beautifully mixed in nicely, just as I want, okay? So we're going to proceed into frying. Proceeding into frying it, and I have my frying pan on there. I'm going to put in enough oil to fry. So I'm just going to do enough oil to fry, just like that. So now that my oil is heating up, I'm going to taste it by putting a little bit of mixture in the oil to see. And if it floats right away, which means the water is, the oil is done. But it looks like it's not flowy, so which means it needs to heat up some more. So I'm just gonna give it a minute or 2 before I start putting it in. So now, as you can see, it's moving. So that shows that my oil is ready now. I'm going to go ahead and drop them in. Oil is really hot. I have it on a very low heat so your donut doesn't burn. So I'm going in. What I do is that I dip my hand in water, and then I take a little bit of it, just any size that you want, okay? So for you to get that shape, you make it round, you drop it in as you go, and I'm dropping it in. I'll show you other ways to get the shape of your donut perfect also. So you shape it, you drop it. You see, once you put it in and your oil is hot, it should float to the top, just like it's doing. So make sure your oil is really on a low heat so it doesn't burn on the outside while it's still cooking in the inside. So you see that it's flipping itself over once it's done. That's what you should be looking for. And with this kind of shape, it's not my favorite. So watch, stay with me. I'll show you my favorite style of dropping my donuts to get in the perfect shape. Okay, so after this is done, I'll show you my favorite way of dropping it. So make sure you stir it so you can get it evenly. You don't want your your donut to burn, so just the even size, and then you check the ones that are done, you take them out, because the ones that went in first will be cooked first. So I'm going to take those ones out, and I'm going to allow this to also sit and cook beautifully. So you see, this is what I'm looking for. And it's still gonna cook once you get it out of the oil. So I'm just taking them out and allow it to cook and cool down. Okay, so I took it out. So now I'm going to show you all my favorite. So my favorite is in the bag. I put it in the bag like that, and I'm just going to drop it in with the scissors. Cut it, drop it in. And this is the fastest way I can get my donuts. If I'm doing a large quantity, this is how I usually do it. And it's much easier and faster. And they all cook evenly. And I get the same exact size that I'm going for. So, just like that. You can try this and thank me later. So this is the way I like it. So after dropping in my donut, after dropping it in, see how my donut is looking. It's looking really, really beautiful. And you're going to make sure you cook it on a very low heat, fry it on a very low heat, so they don't burn before it's cooked inside. So this donut, that's my all-time favorite. My favorite way of frying it, okay, in the bag is my favorite. I prefer that any day, anytime. It gives me the results that I actually want. So if you want it bigger than that, you can squeeze it bigger than that, so you get the size that you actually deserve. So now my donut is looking very, very beautiful. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to flip it over, let it cook additional a minute, okay, and I'm going to take it out. So as you can see, they are cooking very, very beautifully, and they flip themselves once the other side is done. So if you watch it closely, you can see. And if you have watched up to this point, please hit the subscription button. It is free to subscribe, and it's free to like, and it's free to leave a comment. So please make sure you leave a comment, and that is the only way YouTube recommend my video to other watchers. Okay, so you see, my donut is looking very, very, very beautiful. So I'm just going to take it out. If you want it more brown, you can keep it in there for a little bit longer. But this is how I prefer it. I don't want it too burnt and too brown. So this is very, very crispy on the outside, no matter how it looks. But you can also leave it brown. Now, I know some people like their stuff not burned, but a little brownish on the outside. So you can let it cook for additional minutes if that's what you prefer, okay? And see, this batch that I'm frying, it's way bigger than the previous ones that I did. This is the first batch that I made. You see how small they are? And you see the difference between that one and this one? This one is much bigger. So if you're having like an adult event, then you can go for this bigger size. But if it's a little kids event, you go with the tiny ones. That's much easier. You can just grab one and go. But this size is also perfect. It's not too big. You can also use this for all your events and stuff, okay? So as you can see, it is frying beautifully, and they flip over once the other side is done. So you see, this is very beautiful. If you get the right measurement and consistency, you're good to go. Your donut will turn out very, very beautiful, and it's going to be very crispy on the outside.